Welcome to The Advocate, a program that thrashes out all the topical issues of the day.
When you are in government, you don't see nothing wrong with whatever is happening. The moment you are out there, everything is wrong.
You can't even see many women now, and when they're there, they're not even really making a mark, and then they have an NYSC problem and this and that.
One of the reasons why we don't have more women in politics in Nigeria is for as long as political meetings continue to take place in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
Really disastrous for a president
to even say
be unaware of the chief
It's
justice.
a ploy. It could be a strategy.
That strategy was
Backfired.
terrible strategy. Because the buck stops at your table.
Whether it's that we don't look after our cities, and quite frankly, Nigeria is becoming a very ugly place.
When you are the only one feeding the people with this news, and there is nobody countering them, it becomes, the news.
You're watching The Advocate on PlusTVAfrica. Time to embark on a talent hunt. This week, I came across the inspiring and enchanting story of Tani Toluwa Adewumi. Tani just became the New York State chess champion in his age category. His parents are Nigerian refugees who moved to America just over a year ago due to the Boko Haram insurgency. Tani's dad works 2 jobs, while his mom just qualified as a health aide. They live in a homeless shelter. At Tani's school, a part-time chess teacher comes to teach the kids how to play chess. Tani was interested. His interest was captured. He wished to join the class, but his parents couldn't afford it. So his mom wrote to the school, to the club, and explained the situation. Thankfully, the club agreed to waive the fees, and yet again, another Nigerian talent was lost to the West. In a country where so much is geared towards formal education rather than talent development, how are we to discover the many Tani Toluwas imprisoned in a decaying education system while their talents continue to burn with no avenue to nurture? Don't get me wrong, I'm not in any way putting down formal education, not at all. I'm simply saying, aren't we, as a nation, depriving ourselves of joy, success, and national glory by ignoring the natural attributes of our children in favor of certificates which no longer guarantee them a job, nor a living wage? In the same New York Times article, Tani was reported to have said, quote, "I feel American," while he also declared his ambition to be the youngest grandmaster. Dear Nigerian parents, how are we to ensure we don't lose any more of our children like Tani Toluwa to the abroad? Or is it already a fait accompli?
I like the fact that you addressed this to the Nigerian parent, because I really believe that's the group that you have to address it to. Because when you look at the education system, even not just here, but even abroad, they focus really on maybe arts, sports, and then of course,
talent attributes, yes.
And so you're not going to really find a guy like Tani, who's good at chess, unless maybe he joins like some special clubs, on the peripherals. So then let's come back to Nigeria. And Nigeria, they're not even going to be looking at any of those things. So it's really, I think it's down to the parents. You study your child. You see what your child is interested in. I know when I look at my 4-year-old, I've noticed he's into languages. He's in, there's certain things he's into. Nice. He's into fixing things. He's into electrical appliances.
So he likes to solve.
Yeah, he likes to solve problems. So I now already start thinking, what's he going to be interested in? Where should we get? Yeah, exactly. So I really believe that, yes, you're addressing the right
a young boy that's already looking at women, looking at young girls.
We'll check out his negotiation skills.
I think that it's not that formal education should be it's an impediment.
No, I'm not saying
she didn't say that. No, she didn't. I'm just saying it's for the sake of viewers and everybody else. I believe that if we had allowed our educational system to develop,
thank you,
we would have come to the realization anyway that there's much more beyond it.
Yes.
But we don't even have the education system. So how are we even going to
and there's
other things apart from education like talent?
Yes. No, because I'm even thinking that even if Tani, let's even imagine that a parent, like Uche is describing, is watching him and thinking, and then puts him in a chess club. it will still not do anything for him within the Nigerian sphere because we don't have competitions that people value it.
There are chess clubs actually.
They do.
But
do we value it at that level where he could be a grandmaster?
Yes.
Yeah, no, there are. Uche's point is excellent. And why I'm tying it to my own is that what I'm saying is that if we had the education system properly and all that, we'll be able to think better. The parents will then become the ones that see talent early. They are the ones who, when you are in school, passing your physics, chemistry, maths, and so on, they are the ones pushing you to the literary and debating society, dancing, and so on, until you finally discover that this child would rather do that.
Let me give you an instance. Faz.
Yes.
Faz read
the musician.
Law.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
But his father said from primary 2, he noticed that he loves music. Writing, music. But the mom wanted him to be a lawyer. Even after I read law, the mom wanted him to practice. While he was practicing, the father secretly
helped him to go into the studio.
Yes, built a studio for him, acquired a studio for him. And he was, so at a point, he got the point, he said, look, Mom, I've done that you wanted me to.
There's your certificate.
Now, let me do that.
My own. Yeah.
And so it dawned on them while they were traveling one day, big name, Falana, and that, their era was past when a man was telling the young son, oh, look at Femi Falana. The son was like, oh, it's Femi Falana.
Look at Faz.
They now said, oh, that's Faz. That's really?
Oh, really?
So that was what interests the boy. That's, oh, Faz. Yeah. So that was when it dawned on him that really some of these things that we chase after really are not those things that would give you that fame.
And then maybe to also add the point, let me just add the point that in case people are thinking when you're hearing dancing school that it's for the elites, that because this guy was in a respite home. The story is so beautiful.
He's in a homeless
shelter. Sorry. Yeah, and so, a lot of creativity, you don't necessarily need to look for it among those. Because I'm just about to watch a movie about the guy in Malawi. They've done the remake, who they called him the wind harnesser, the guy who harnessed the wind. They made the film because under those conditions, the guy just built a wind, the machine. So it's really, you don't have to have money to because even talent is about using something that is given to you as a gift, a raw talent.
But the problem in Nigeria is you have to have money to be able to develop this. As I speak to you now,
you don't have sponsors who see the talent.
One of my kids is in South Africa for a leadership program. The other one is preparing to go for
and you know how much that's costing
robotic program in Benji. I know how much that is costing me already.
I agree with you.
Sorry, quickly. So the issue should be our education should be geared towards creating development for, unlike those days where you say must be physics, chemistry, biology,
which is what Chuka was saying.
But I'm
just trying to be inclusive when it comes to this.
I mean, I like your point because truly it's not always about money. Like now we have social media. So like remember that boy that did a drawing, sketch of what's his name?
Kevin Hart.
And so you can actually put your artwork, you can put your talent on show.
Before we run out of time, I have a question. What's your talent? What would you have been? And we have to go quickly before we run out of. If you were not doing what did you want to be?
I did tap dance.
I would have been.
I did tap dance. Yeah, I had a natural talent for tap dance.
I would have been either a teacher or a musician.
We can see a musician. I think we can see that in you, Richard.
An athlete. I ran for my county.
Oh, you did?
For the county.
Oh. But did
100 meters, 200 relay, you name it.
That explains those legs.
As for me, I look back to that fellow, what's that, Felix Liberty. I would have just been a lover boy.
Right.
As for me,
architecture then.
What about you?
For me, I'm actually doing what I wanted to do.
Awesome.
Media, TV. Media, radio, and it's taking me to this age.
Okay.
Well, 49.
I think I might steal that from you.
It's taking me to the age of 49. To actually be able to do it. So we all did like your lawyer, but the boroughs will get to that point where it starts holding the guitar and you people were these banking singers.
We'll be together.
And we'll start doing the kine. Yes.
We're compatible.
Yes, and Uche will start running. But you mentioned something about squash.
Yes, that's true.
You said something about
physically,
squash.
Obviously, I have to let that one go.
No, she's squash and badminton.
I love all the racket sports.
No, but
Uncle Chuka, you didn't tell us the truth.
You see, in basketball also, that's how they try to mix basketball and education in America. But here, just like we used to do with football those days, football was for dropout until 1985.
That's right.
And so also, some of these other sports we really have not been able to harness, you know, the great potentials.
I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah. Well, our advocacy would be incomplete without your contributions, so it's time to read some of your comments on our social media platforms. Chuka's topic is certainly stirring up some conversation. Ivy Masha says, who come get sense for Nigeria design? Oh, yes, my pigeon, forgive it. You're actually telling the truth. Some of the apartments and homes people have asked me to purchase in Nigeria for $100,000 certainly are not worth it. Some may be a little okay, but then the street, neighborhood, neighbors, oh my, not worth a nickel.
Wow.
Ibiakbo Clark says, you forgot the landscape. What happened to gardens? No trees, flowers, no parks or open spaces. Concrete, dust, and ugly buildings. I agree with you. Adejoke Dores Odunusi. Adejoke Lores Odunusi says, gloves are off. Telling them like it is. Designer, architect, all no taste. Say it louder for the buffoons at the back. We're saying it louder. On the topic of women and equality, Warichi Onwerisi says, I think a number don't know what they want, or better still, don't know how to go about getting what they want. Badibola has this to say. At Sisioge Lagos and at Liboras, I love your passion on the advocate on the PlusAfrica discussion on waste management in Lagos. Keep the fire on until we have a cleaner Lagos. Hashtag Lagos must be clean forever. At Ekene for real, at Mama Uch. I must say, first time, yeah, he says it's the first time he's watching it. So please do keep up your comments coming in. We'd like to hear them. We're on Instagram and Twitter on @PlusTVAfrica, hashtag TheAdvocateNG, don't forget the NG, and on Facebook on PlusTVAfrica, hashtag TheAdvocateNG. We look forward to hearing from you.